Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're here to present you our NBA live segment for Monday, March 9th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't come and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's been a busy day for a small slate.
Yeah, for sure. Busy day. A lot of injury news for a smaller slate as well. Going to probably be a pretty chalky slate. I really don't recommend cash games today. I really want to throw that out there. And yeah, man, I'm ready to talk some basketball though. You ready to go?
Oh yeah, no, don't play cash games for NBA, man. Pick a different sport if you want to play cash games.
For sure. So real quick before we jump into this video, if you don't mind, just kind of go down the list for us and update us on kind of where we're at for the day so far.
Where we're at for the day, the big news is with Toronto and with Milwaukee. Marc Gasol, like we talked about in the morning shoot around, didn't think he'd play on a back-to-back. He has been ruled out. George Hill's been ruled out. Fred VanVleet has been ruled out. And those were kind of the major injuries we were waiting to find out on. Didn't expect that Eric Bledsoe would get downgraded to doubtful. He's not yet been ruled out. At least I have not seen him officially ruled out, but I know he was downgraded as of the last NBA injury report, that he was downgraded to doubtful. So we talked about it before we hopped on. There's a guy that we thought was going to be kind of a sneaky pivot type play this morning, which was Dante DiVincenzo from Milwaukee. He's probably going to be somewhat popular, but I still have a feeling that the most popular way to load it up is going to be loading up Chris Middleton with Norman Powell. So I think you can still leverage DiVincenzo. He's in a better spot than he was this morning if the news holds true and Eric Bledsoe doesn't play. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the major injury news that we were waiting for. It all kind of just came down right before lock. There's some stuff that's happened for tomorrow, but we can get into that tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So I mean, I'm just gonna quickly just kind of go through it, and I mean, there's really not too much to go through. It's a pretty straightforward. The Charlotte and Atlanta game, there's not really too much injuries. Everybody for the most part is playing there. You know, we talked about some guys that we liked from that game in the morning shoot around, so no need to really touch on that game. The Milwaukee game, like you talked about, it is interesting now because Bledsoe, it's looking like he's probably going to be out. And we already know George Hill is ruled out as well. So I'm curious of who's going to kind of be the point guard there. How do you say it?
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, see, he's not really too much of a point guard. So I'm curious if they'll kind of have Chris Middleton play the point guard role for today. Who do you think? You think it'll be that guy? Yeah, okay.
It'll be the other guy that's going to go super low owned tonight that's going to get some point guard run is going to be Pat Connaughton. I mean, he's there. Pat Connaughton and DiVincenzo have kind of been under the radar players, kind of role players for Milwaukee all season long. And I think just when the news broke yesterday, Giannis was going to be out for a couple of games, everybody knew Bledsoe, everybody knew Chris Middleton, everybody knew Ilyasova and Brook Lopez. And then I think the more astute player, I guess, if you will, like, you know, we're looking at DiVincenzo as a nice pivot play. Pat Connaughton was kind of the last thought on anybody's mind who'd have been a really good deep tournament play. But I think both those guys now get elevated. So, you know, now DiVincenzo's probably a premier play and Connaughton is a good secondary play.
He's probably the more sneaky one now.
Connaughton, yeah, I think so. I still think, though, it's going to be really popular to put Norman Powell with Chris Middleton. I just think that's going to be the more popular way of doing it. I still think DiVincenzo is lower owned. If you want to be really ballsy and you're playing in like a $25 single entry tournament, it'd be really ballsy to fade Middleton and play DiVincenzo and Norman Powell together. But I just don't know if there's not enough pay-up spots really on this slate where you need to do that. I'm just saying it would be extremely ballsy in a single entry because I think that the popular way is going to be with Middleton and Powell.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I mean, if we're talking about the Toronto-Utah game, the Utah side is pretty clear cut. They didn't have no injuries over there. For Toronto, we know Marc Gasol is out. I mean, I already liked Ibaka going into today. He was in my core plays. He gets a little bit more of a bump as well with no Marc Gasol. And then you can, Siakam obviously is in play, and Nubi's been playing well. And then you mentioned it, man. Norman Powell at 5,500, he's been playing absolutely out of his mind. And then you got the fact that Van Fleet is ruled out. He's going to continue to play a bulkload of minutes. So I definitely really like Norman Powell. I think that Norman Powell's a premier play on today's slate. And then, we're going to continue looking at our boy Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's playing very well. They're really short-staffed in there. He's going to play a bulkload of minutes out there in Utah. So I definitely like Kyle Lowry as well. So that's really where I'm at, man. If we got any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. We'll get you to that. If not, man, got to get out of here, finish up these lines. But I definitely think today is a pretty clear-cut slate. We mentioned it. Don't really play cash games. Just play a bunch of GPP lines. Use the optimizer and kind of throw a couple guys in that are probably going to be a little bit lower exposure. Take some risks. That's the kind of night it is. If you want to win on a 3-game slate, you got to take risks for sure. So yeah, man, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Just a couple of things. It seems like every day in the NBA, this is my slogan, which is sift through the shit. This morning, Terry Rozier, I talked about it. Atlanta over the last 2 weeks giving up the most fantasy point production, 2 point guards. He's still a really good play. I think he's somebody that kind of gets lost in the shuffle today. One guy you talked about that I think is probably the second best overall play at the shooting guard position tonight is Kevin Huerter. Still in a really good spot. He's going to get lost in the shuffle behind Middleton, Powell, DiVincenzo, Cody Martin, Devontae Graham, Kevin Huerter, still really good plays on FanDuel. The small forward position, look, there's not a lot to pay up for. I think Siakam is going to be somewhat popular because of that. People looking to fill out their budget. I still like Anunoby. I still like DeAndre Hunter. Power forward obviously is a good pay up spot for John Collins. I think default he'll be 80% owned in cash because there's not a lot of spots to pay up for. And Jokic is probably going to come in really high owned as well. But there's 2 guys that we both liked this morning that are still fine plays in my opinion. Dwayne Dedmon is one of them, and the other one is Brook Lopez. I think that Jokic is going to draw a ton of ownership. If you felt really ballsy today, you could try to roll Mason Plumlee in this spot. If this game were to blow out with all these Milwaukee Bucks out, Mason Plumlee is a guy who could get some extended run and have 30 fantasy points tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with you. So I think that's really where we're at. We got about 22 minutes till lock. You can still go check out our videos and our articles that we have on today's NBA slate. And yeah, man, hey, that's really what we got. Good luck on guys' contest tonight, and peace out.